I have amassed over 1000 meditations, and I wanted to make this video to guide people through the common struggles that people do face when they begin meditating and help them get to that same place themselves of becoming consistent in meditation. So, the first one that people struggle with, and I've struggled with myself, is frustration at the third step of meditation, which is when you realize that you were being unmindful and when you realize that you were lost in thought. If you have meditated before, you'll be familiar with this four-step diagram. If you haven't meditated before, I'll run you through it real quick. So the first step is to focus on something that's happening in the now to ground yourself, which is usually the breath for most people. And when you do this, what you're basically doing is starving your brain of stimulation. So your brain begins to generate thoughts to entertain itself and keep itself busy. And that creates opportunity for you to do the fourth step, which is to bring your attention back to the breath when you do realize that you were lost in focus. But where most people get lost is step three. They get frustrated at step three, which is the realization that they were lost in thought, because they believe that those thoughts and distractions were an intrusion to the meditation instead of part of the meditation. It's simply because of it's simply because of a lack of knowledge and understanding that you get frustration during meditation, and I've even had it as well. I've been frustrated that I wasn't as present as I'd wanted to be, or I was lost in thought for too long. But all there really is to do at that point is to return your focus back to the breath, and that makes you more present. Those thoughts and distractions are the whole point of meditation. Meditation is not just focusing on the breath indefinitely. Those thoughts and distractions need to happen for you to build your mindfulness. Another thing that you have to know is that the results do take time. You are going to be putting in all this work and not seeing a benefit until a few days or weeks later. Like the gym, the first time you go to the gym, you're not really making any progress for the first few weeks or months until a few months later. But the good thing about meditation is that it doesn't actually take that long to see results. Another analogy would be fixing your sleep, like you're beginning to go to bed on time to try and reset your circadian rhythm, but it doesn't actually reset until a few months later. It takes a while to see a difference when you start doing anything. This is called the plateau of latent potential. I've read this from the book Atomic Habits. It's literally just this bridge of input but no output, or input but no result rather. I can't really give you a personal time that it had taken me to begin seeing the benefits of meditation, because I'd began meditating when I was overstimulating myself and like using social media too much. So I was sort of building my mindfulness and then destroying it. So my perception wouldn't be as accurate. You've just gotta figure that out by yourself. Third struggle that you definitely will face is impatience. And I just want to let you know that it is completely normal to feel impatient during meditation. That is the whole point of meditation. If we go back to the gym analogy, but a different concept of the gym analogy, you don't stop working out when your muscles begin to burn, because you know that growth comes from that. You keep going. The same thing with meditation. You don't stop meditating because you begin to get impatient. You continue because you know that that's where growth comes from. It's just a discomfort that you have to sit through and observe, like you observe anything else while you're meditating. And the thing is that you do become more tolerable to impatience. You do develop the ability to handle it better. Or I just imagine myself at like a construction site, and I'm in a 12-hour shift and I'm just tired like 8 hours in. I don't stop working because I'm tired. I keep going because I know that that's where the value comes from. Same thing goes for meditation. You've just got to sit there and keep going. Next struggle is discipline, and again, it is completely normal to feel these discipline issues and feel like you don't want to do it. You could do something like just sit on your bed with your phone with the meditation app open and just sit there for like a few minutes, and then when you do that you may feel more likely to meditate. You could do something like that, but what I did when I faced this was I just mustered up the discipline to sit down and meditate. And again, like impatience, it becomes more tolerable. Your discipline becomes easier to handle, or you become more disciplined rather. I've been meditating for 3 years and I don't even need to use that much discipline now as compared to when I began meditating, because the habit has just sort of set in stone and I've leveled up my discipline. You can also level up your discipline like outside of meditation, which will level up your general discipline so you're more likely to meditate, or more likely to have the discipline to meditate rather. So it does get easier if you just put in that work and that effort. The last point I've written down is alluring thoughts, and what I mean by this is your thoughts may just seem much more interesting than the breath. Like you'll just want to almost drown in those thoughts and think about them much more than focusing in on the present and focusing on the breath. The solution to this is just to have the discipline to bring your attention back to the breath and remind yourself that those thoughts can be thought about later, those thoughts can be processed and journaled or whatever later, and there is nothing that you need to think about right now other than the breath.